Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming, and I'm trying my darndest to finish this last program here before I convert it into an ASP.NET application. I found a lot of syntactical errors, not closing parentheses inside of message box statements, etc. If I get this to work, I do want to take it and put it out under GitHub. So I will plan on doing that. All right. Problems though, I lost all my passwords, so this is going to be just a boatload of fun. But let's try this program and see what it looks like now. I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it. All right, employee type hourly. We'll put in here add. Put hourly employee 1, and he worked 40 hours. That still is son of a biscuit. Well, let's see if we can try the other ones. I got to put a button in here so I can go back to the splash screen. Of course, it won't work because the program is locking right now, but let's try it. See if we can add some of the other employees. There's a problem with the hourly. Let's see if we can do the other ones. Well, let's try a salaried. It says salaried. There we go. Add salaried employee 1, salary 55667. It's not adding it. I noticed I wasn't doing an add, but it's in there now, so can we go back? No, and that's stuck too. Boy, son of a gun. None of these are working. Let's try one of the other ones. How about piece worker? Piece worker 1. We'll say they made 50 pieces. And again, it's not. It's stopping there. So I've got a feeling that when I run it again and try doing a commission worker, it'll do the same thing. So we'll add, well, just to show you, I can go now back to the splash screen. Okay. And we'll add, so commission worker 1. Percentage is 0.25, and again it just stops. I don't think it's adding it here either to the database, but let's check. So let's refresh that. But I don't think it is. I'm never getting any kind of message or anything, so no. So let's see if I can fix it. But I want to pause. I don't want to keep doing this. So, okay, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I figured out my problems. The bad news is it's going to take a while to fix them. So I want to show you what the problem was. All right, let me close this. I can now, the only one I fixed is the add for hourly, and it now works. I'm going to have to make changes to the add for the other 3 and for the 4 updates as well. But let me just show you what I'm going to have to do here. First of all, in the validation both. The problem was in my validation both, I had to rewrite it. Okay, let me show you. Down here. Looks pretty similar to the way it did before, but not exactly. We've got bool is valid, string here. Let's do it like this. So this is, no, that's not it. There. Move these over a little bit so it's hopefully a little easier for people to see. And I'm going to move these over as well. Let's see. All right, let's just start with this one. So I added a new thing. It's called try parse decimal. It's the same pretty much as what we had. It doesn't make much sense, but it's the same yet different. So this is the old. This is the new. So that's the new right there. Let's go back to the old. The old one was called here was the old one. This is how it looked. Hopefully this is going to make sense when we go over it quickly in just a second. All right. All right, so what changed? Notice the first one has string prompt. This was set up for a console application, not for a Windows Forms application. Other than that, it's the same. So I had to do two things. Number one, I had to go back and add these, and everywhere I was calling attempt to get valid decimal input, I changed it to try parse decimal. All right, there's also attempt to get valid integer, and I changed that to try parse integer. So that's the first thing. That had to change. The second thing, and this is where it's going to take some time to go back and do this, I started going through everything in the program line by line and found a lot of little things, to be honest with you. So there's the attempt to get valid decimal, and there was the attempt to get valid decimal. Where's the other one? There's the attempt to get valid integer. All right, and there's the new try parse decimal and the new try parse integer. All right, so file, save all. After I did these, I had to go back and rebuild this, clean it and rebuild it. All right, then in my employee, you can see I'm now getting input. Let's go over to here. All right, now I want to show you what I had to change, because I'm going to have to change these for all of them. I need, inside of my switch, I need to do a couple things. First, notice if it's hourly, I need to add these. If it's going to be piece worker, I'm going to have to add pieces made and price per piece. If it's going to be commission worker, I'm going to have to add commission percentage and sales amount, and for salary I'll have to add salary. But I put these inside of while loops. And the problem was, between what I had before and what I just showed you, now I'm going to say if it's true, go in and do this. If this doesn't work, just return. All right, if it's empty, I can change that back, but I just kept cutting the code down and cutting it down. Here, okay, if you're able to try to do the parse and it works, break. Otherwise, give a message box that says it didn't work and jump back in here again. We have to do this for every single field in the add and in the update for all of them. So now you'll notice that the only thing that works now is an add for hourly. So if I come in here now and I've already put in one employee, all right, you can see that what's in here now, where is it, is this. ID is 1, hours worked is 40, hourly rate is 25. All right, and if I go to the employees table and I view the data, all right, I have hourly employee 1. All right, and that's it. We're not saving. I want to repeat this. We are not saving the calculated field in here in the database, which is the gross pay. And the recommendation when you're creating databases is not to save calculated fields. So let's run it one more time. So I'll come in here. Let's just put me in here. So I'm going to add. So Jeff Scott, I worked 50 hours and I make $20 an hour. This should then say Jeff Scott 1100 if it worked. And there you go. Now I'll have to do something as far as how this is going to show in here. We should make this a currency field. All right. Now I can go back to my original screen, but that's all that works right now. And if I go back to my databases and I refresh and I go in here and I go to hourly and I view the data, there's number 2 and there I am. And if I go back to the employee table and I view the data, there I am. Okay. So it's all working. That's the good news. The bad news is tomorrow I'll have to go in and change all of these. And rather than having you watch me do it, what I'm going to try to do is just do it before I do hopefully the last taping in this, and then run it and be able to show you everything. That's my hope. All right? And I hope to come back tomorrow and show you that then. Talk to you then.